Hey Rick, how you doing, man?
Hey, good morning. Happy Saturday, Keith.
Happy Saturday, man. You look great as always. Love the glasses.
Thank
When I go back and look at previous episodes, I'm always like interested in looking at like what your hair is like. It's
you.
always, it's always awesome, dude.
Give it a rest, man. It's a wig. Just I'm bald as hell and I can't help it. So
Do I
this
need a
is
wig too then? I need a wig too.
well, your hat works pretty well, man. I
My
don't
hat
think I've
works
ever seen
great.
you maybe once or twice without your hat on.
Dude, I mean, when I'm doing my work week, doing my when I got the work gig on, the corporate
Oh yeah,
gig,
yeah.
my hat, there's no hat. I'm styling and profiling with a bald head. So
Love it, man. Some guys can pull it off, and you're one.
oh, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. So man, what I thought I talk about, or we talk about, the show topic is give your flowers now. And so I'll tell you what it's inspired by. I have a friend who at work that I report to. And I'm actually her direct report, or yes, I do report directly to her in terms of administrative duties and things like that. And she's been a great mentor, leader for me. And I'm always interested in what's going on with her family because I've never seen a family like show up like this. And I'm sure there are like plenty of families that do. I've just never seen it like this. So every time I see her, I go into her office, like, so tell me, like, what was your family like? Family lives, about 4.5 5 hours from Phoenix. And so she travels there like all the time, like road trip. She's in the car. She's got it from door to door. She's got it all nailed down. So they have this thing in her family that's called we were having a conversation. She's telling me about her family. She's telling me about her nephew's graduation and how she drove up to celebrate him with the whole family that lives there. And she said, so, my nephew's graduation, and we put him, he sits in a chair, and family, and family circled around him. She said, like we do, you know what I'm talking about, Keith. We believe. I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. She's saying this like every American family does this.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
like, no,
Right, that's
I'm
it.
like, not the case, not the case. And so she's like, yeah, we believe in giving our flowers while you're alive. And I'm like, pump the brakes for a second. What are you saying? She's like, most people celebrate people's lives when they pass away or they've died. But we do this for birthdays, for anniversaries, for promotions, for graduations, like events just become an excuse for us to get together and celebrate each other. So we put the person, whoever we're celebrating, in the middle, and they sit in a chair, and everyone goes around and acknowledges them or says something, kind and thoughtful of what they mean to them. And it's called giving out flowers. And so we believe in giving out flowers while you're alive. And I'm like, wow. And so that just made me think about this new dimension that I want to open up into all my relationships, that I want to be so present and so focused that I want to give the gift of my attention, my kindness, my commitment to being fully engaged with them in that moment and seeing only the good in them whenever I'm with people. I feel like I do a decent job of that, but I want to take it to the next level. And I really want to cherish those moments, Rick. So I thought it'd be a great show. Like when you think about that, what is it? How does it resonate with you?
Oh boy. Well, I think you're spot on that not many of us have that kind of experience with our families, but those of us who are lucky enough to have had it, I think it makes an enormous difference in terms of your self-confidence and in terms of how loving you can be toward other people. I think one of the big troubles that people have with sharing their love or respect or or interest even in other people is I think this sort of feeling like love is finite, and if I give too many strokes to, an average guy, quote unquote, somebody I'm really not into, then I don't have as much to give to the people I really like or the people who really can give it back to me. And so I think that there's a barrier to us first wanting to share openly and lovingly without expecting anything back because we just think there's a finite amount of love and we've got to save it for the ones who count. And I think that's wrong. I think it's like money. I think love really is pretty good metaphor for money. I think that there's plenty of it in the world. I mean, there's countless dollars or euros or baht or whatever it is. There's plenty of money in the world. There's plenty of love in your heart. And it doesn't go away. In fact, one of the principles of investing is it takes money to make money.
Right.
Well, it takes love to get love. And I think at the end of the day, what every human being wants is to have a connection, to have a loving connection with another person who appreciates them for who they are. And in return, they want to, or we want to, give love to the other person. And I think you hit on something really important, and it's a rare thing to hear, but that kind of love can be extended to literally everyone, whether it's strangers, people in the news, people who offend you. It can be something that's a powerful regeneration of more love for you to give to others and to yourself without any expectation of any return. I think if people would just try it, like just say, okay, this morning I'm going to Starbucks and I'm going to see half a dozen people in line. And I'm just going to think, instead of them being strangers, they're in front of me, they're getting in the way. How come they're taking so long? Oh gosh, another half calf decaf with sparkle cream on it. Instead of thinking those thoughts, you think, this is really an amazing little family we got here. Look at that. I love that guy's glasses. I love how she is looking through her purse so carefully and is being mindful in the moment about taking out her money. Whatever you can find that you like, just that one moment in Starbucks, just practice finding something to love about a stranger. I think that's an elegant way to begin feeling what it's like not to have a limitation on your love for others. Now, it sounds corny, but try it. What do you got to lose? You go to Starbucks line, or you got 3 minutes to kill. Try it. The hell.
Oh, Rick, I love that, man. Yeah, I just love people, man. And this wasn't how as I mentioned in previous podcasts, I wasn't always that way. I was more, more of an introvert, if I was to label, my personality or my disposition. And over time, I just found that life was richer when I was giving, and when I was giving, especially with no expectation of anything in return.
That's the key.
Yeah,
that's the key. Otherwise, it's kind of manipulative, right?
Exactly.
You want something back. I'm not doing this because I'm full of love. I'm doing it because I want you to love my ego. Want you to love me and all of my magnificence.
Exactly. And I know that there are some families that make it challenging, to do so. I like for me, I made it challenging for my family because I didn't make it a priority to go back home to see them. I mean, when I was there, but I didn't make it a priority to stay in contact and to nurture those relationships. I know some families, they're dealing with all kinds of challenges and struggles, whether it's illness or whether it's a falling out that they've had, or an argument, or an addiction, or whatever the case may be. And for those who want to partner with you on celebrating each other, I think it's just an amazing tradition that you can start to create and establish for your family, your friends, and your colleagues. There's some work groups at Mayo Clinic that do a fantastic job of celebrating birthdays and everything else. And for me, I used to, full disclosure, I used to judge those kinds of gatherings, mostly because I was busy being superior, because I'm like, dude, all this sugar cupcakes and muffins and whatnot and birthday cake, what about the plant-based guy here? Like, you know what, I can't get like something healthy in here. And so I was caught up in my own thing that I missed what was really going on, which was a celebration of other people. But I was bringing in my own judgments about, man, can we have some healthy alternatives here? I'm down to be there, but where's the hummus? And I'm like, dude, not everybody wants hummus for their birthday. So here's the ego. Like, the celebration, newsflash, it's not about you. This is John's birthday. It's not your birthday. So when it's your birthday, we'll have hummus. But for now, come in and celebrate John. And so, but man, and I think, we're laughing about that, but I think that's what we do as human beings, is that we let other stuff get in the way of celebrating other people. This trivial stuff that we're not even aware of, we're in the grip of it. Like something that happened 10 years ago won't allow us to speak to each other, or like you feel like you got slighted, or someone didn't respect you, or whatever else. And me here with looking at, the birthday menu, like, dude, it's not about you. Like, get in there, celebrate each other, and just be present for that moment. And I've really grown a lot. And so when I get a chance to be around my friend Tanya, I just love the way she and her family get down, man. Like, it's, and there's just no reason that keeps her from her family. Like she is on the road, like the wheels are rolling to Nevada. Like nothing stops her from getting there to see them, man. I don't care what the work day was like and what the day is they're celebrating, she's there. And I have really made a commitment to be intentional about my relationships and my friendships and my family to show up the same way. She's been a great role model for me. And this is the kind of thing that had I limited my relationship with her as strictly, this is a business, this is a work colleague that I work with, and that's the box that our relationship or our connection is in, then I would have missed out on this learning. I would have missed out on this mentoring and this guiding. And so I'm able to take that and expand my capacity to be even more loving, even more engaged and connected with other people, man. It's a wonderful thing.
And you could even go a little step further too. I think one of the reasons we feel more comfortable with family than strangers is because there's sort of this idea that family, you will always accept you because blood is blood. And that means that whatever your foibles or whatever your defects of whatever things you maybe not are so proud of and they know about, you believe family will accept them, but you don't believe that as to strangers. But I think once you start down this road, beginning with your family, it's easier for you to make the leap into extending it to beyond family. You can extend it to colleagues, and then extend it to colleagues maybe in the next department, and then extend that to everybody in the building, and then extend that to everybody you're waiting in traffic at a stoplight with. You see, the point that I'm getting at is that the connection between all humans is a connection that's fundamental. And the illusion is that there is no connection. That we operate on this idea that it's you and me, and I've got to fight like hell to get what I need, and you need to fight like hell to get what you need, and we're competing about limited resources. I don't think that that's a healthy paradigm. I don't think it's healthy either to walk around giving away all of your money out of the savings account to strangers either. But what I'm saying is that when we're talking about something like love, let's just substitute the word friendliness or respect or kindness. Mm-hmm. Then there's no reason why you should withhold it, right? I mean, what's the payoff for you? When you get rid of the idea that they have to do something for me to earn my love, it creates space for you to have even more love for self and for everyone else.
Preach, Rick. I think I'll close it with this, because I know there are some families out there that may be, not as connected as the folks who would want their family to be. And so, part of it is also accepting that you may not have a willing partner who wants to share in giving, flowers to each other while we're all alive. And you just accept that, and the party goes on for those who want a partner, and that's been the thing. I was always, when I go back home for family reunions, I was like, oh man, why didn't this person come, or why didn't they come? And I'd be so busy thinking about who didn't come or the whys that I was missing out on celebrating with the people who did come, who were partners. And so I'm holding space for anybody who wants to join the party. And for those who are here, let the party continue.
You are a wonderful example. It's really, I just love being with you in these sessions because it's so enlightening and freeing. It's like having an app for happiness.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Rick, man. I love you, man.
I love you too.